Hi, hello. Today, one of my students, she's 10 years old, she just was performing a multiplication and she wasn't going forwards. She was dealing with multiplication with decimals. She did the multiplication alright, but the issue was she couldn't say where the dot was going to be located, and she didn't say anything. She just kept quiet, and that situation is very simple. We just have to count the number of decimals and just add in the end, and that's simple. It takes less than a second. So when a student does not perform this in less than a second, something is going on. But of course, when we have especially when we have very bright students, they don't like to ask very much because they think that just because they're going to ask something, they're going to be dumb, or it's ugly and they just want to be perfect. And that's what I always say to my students. It is those that ask, those are the most bright ones. Those are the ones that knows the most, because you have to have courage and you have to have knowledge to ask and understand. So if you have doubts, just ask it. Oh, but what if the teacher asks me something back? I'm not going to be able to answer. Well, you have to face it, because chances are in the end you will no longer have that doubt. So just be brave and go for it. Raise your hand and say, I didn't understand this. I understand. And then if the teacher asks you, what part? I got nothing. I didn't understand anything. You have to go back from the start. So be honest, okay? Just be honest. The bottom line is, in the end of the question and in the end of the explanation, you will no longer have that doubt. But if you don't ask, you will carry that doubt along with you. And let me tell you something. To carry doubts in math, it is catastrophic. Okay? I blurred the word a little bit, but you got the message, right? So always ask. Okay, so let's just go to paper now and let's see what's going on. So the title of this part is going to be multiplication. Okay, multiplication with, and now comes the most difficult part. Decimals. That is the issue that I'm going to address today. And if she had this question, probably many others have. And the funny is that the simpler the question is, students, they don't ask. It is those questions that you have to ask, because those are the easy ones to be answered and to be understood. But it is those simple ones that, oh, I'm not going to ask that, because they are going to think that I am dumb, that I don't know math. No, just ask it. You have nothing to lose. And if someone is going to laugh at you, chances are that that person doesn't know either the question, but it doesn't have the courage to ask, and that person is going to keep without knowing the answer. So thanks to you, this question is being answered, and everybody is going to take advantage of that. Well, let's just multiply this. 12.03 times 2.5, and let's see what's going on. Now let's just do it. 203 times here 2.5. Let's just multiply and see what's going on. Let's see. Now I'm going to do in blue, so to make it a little bit different. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 goes in here. 5 times 0, nothing, plus 1, 1. 2 times 5 is 10, 0, 1 goes here. 5 times 1, 5, plus 1, 6. Now, 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 0, 0, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 1, 2. 5, 7, 0, 10, 3. Aha! Now comes the question. First question. Someone once asked me, oh, but how come you are not placing everybody under everybody, meaning tens under tens, hundredths under hundreds, thousands under thousands, and so on. We are not adding or we're not adding or subtracting anything. Only when we are adding and subtracting, we have to put everything in column, everything 10 under tens, hundreds under hundreds, thousands under thousands, tenths under tenths, and so on. So you see, because this is an addition, I took caution and put ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. Okay, now this is actually this would be the units of thousands and the tens of thousands, but that's not the issue in this video. Now I want you to realize something. When I perform this multiplication, do you remember me saying anything about dots? No. Actually, what I actually multiplied in my mind was not that. What I actually multiplied on my mind was this: 203 times 25, isn't it? Again, look, this is 15, right? Then 0 with 1 is just 1. So 10. Again, I'm going to copy because it's the same thing, okay? Now 2 times 3, 6, 0, 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. So add those, 5, 7, 0, 0, 3. So actually, what I multiplied in my mind was this number, 1203 times 25, because I didn't use any dots in here. So in my mind, what I did was this, and that is the answer for that multiplication. Okay, so initially I was thinking about this process, but actually we're not multiplying these, right? We're multiplying with decimals, and for that, let's just focus for a moment to see what's going on in here. And now everything is going to be, is it positioned correctly? Yes, it is. Now, what's going on in here? Actually, what is 12.03? I'm going to write again in here because I need the vertical to make my points. So what is that? Well, that's why I changed colors. Actually, in my mind, it was 1203 multiplied by 25. That is what I did in here, wasn't it? Okay, but actually what we are dealing with is not 1000, it is 12.03. So let me ask you, should I divide this number by how much to get 12.03? Tell me. Because what I did in my mind was 1203, but actually this is the number we should be dealing with. So I have to divide by, yes, 100 in here. The same goes in here. It's not 25, it is 2.5. Therefore, say again, yes, 10. Okay, so I have to divide. When I did this multiplication in here, I didn't care about the dots. Okay, so that was my number, 30,075. But actually, look in here, equal. So this is what? 30,075. But I still have to divide by what? 1,000, right? I have 100 and then a 10, so I have to multiply the denominator. So what happens in the end? I have my 30,000. Now I'm not going to put the comma. I'm going to write straight the number. So that is what I have. So I'm going to write with a small pen in here. Actually, if I were to put the 0, it would be this. Agree? 0.0. Now, to divide by 1,000 means I have to move that dot 3 decimal places, not three places, right? Not decimal, I'm sorry. I have to move the dot 3 places to the left. 1, this is to divide by 10, okay? When I move a second time, I am divided by another 10, and I have to go a third time. So to divide by another 10 is 3 zeros, right? 3 zeros, so move the dot 3 times. And then that is the answer. 30.075. So you see, in the end, what I want you to understand it is whenever you are, and this is the answer, 30.075. And so the dot, to make correct this part in here, should be in here. So bottom line is, whenever you are multiplying decimals, just do it without the dots. Now, leave the dots here, but in your mind, ignore them. This is in your mind. In your mind. Okay, in your mind, ignore the dots. Don't tell anyone, just ignore the dots. And then, once you have the number, now you have this number here. I'm just covering the dots, okay? Then you have this number. Ignore the dots initially. And then let's think about where the dot's going to be. How many decimals? 1, 2, 3. So just count 1, 2, 3 and put the dots. Simple as that, okay? So that's what I would like you to see today. Thank you very much. If you did not understand anything, just ask me, okay? There is the email, aristothink@outlook.com, or just put anything under the below the video. You just write your questions, okay? And I'm going to be glad to answer. Thank you very much. If you didn't know, now I hope it's very easy. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.